You have 3 big brothers who'll love, protect, and take care of you, my little darling." She lay there, half awake and half asleep, listening to the sounds drifting through the open window and the low murmur of voices and laughter from the front porch, where the adults had gathered to eat their strawberry shortcake. Percy smiled to herself. How blessed she was to have a loving family who came in any emergency and took care of things. Just then, she heard the squeak of the bedroom door being opened carefully, and a minute later a small figure appeared at her bedside. It was 4-year-old Farrell, her youngest boy. He was small and shy, and he stammered whenever he spoke. He was her special child. The other 2, Thomas and Ephraim, were boisterous, hardy, running, jumping, falling out of trees, climbing fences, shouting, banging in and out of the house with muddy boots, grubby hands, and tousled hair. Farrell was quiet and sensitive, and very sweet. He came over to the bed, very close to her, leaned on the coverlet, bent right down into her face and whispered, "Mama, you all right? Aunt Sassy said—" His voice caught in his throat. Percy quickly covered his little hand with her own. "I'm fine, darling, just fine. You're not to worry." "Aunt Len said you had a hard time, Mama. I was scared." "Well, there's nothing to be scared about at all. Would you like to see your little sister?" "Have Tom and Eph seen her?" "No, you'll be the first," she told him with a soft laugh. She turned back to the top of the blanket so he could peek down into the nest she had made of it, and he saw the round, pink face, eyes shut tight. "This is Independence," she introduced them. Percy placed the baby's tiny hand in her brother's, saying, "This is your big brother, who's always going to take care of you and protect you. Isn't that right, Farrell?" "Yes, ma'am." He nodded his head vigorously. "What did you name her?" "Independence." Farrell swallowed. It was a long word. He would have trouble with it, but he tried. "Dee." "Try it again," his mother urged, slowly. He struggled. "Dee." Percy did not ask him to try again. And so it happened, as it does sometimes, that the little girl born on the 4th of July and named Independence would become known within the family, and later in the larger circle of friends and acquaintances, as Mindy, because her brother could not pronounce her name. Part 1. Chapter 1. Almost from the first, Farrell and his younger sister were inseparable. Because Farrell constantly got teased at school because of his stuttering, Percy decided to teach him his lessons at home. Mindy, who always wanted to be with her adored brother, sat in on the lessons, and in no time, Percy recognized how bright the little girl was. She had no trouble keeping up with Farrell. She was also imaginative, and soon began making up little stories, and when she learned her letters, she began writing her stories down in her copybook. Mindy was far from being a bookworm, however. Even though she preferred the company of the quiet, thoughtful Farrell, she was full of energy and had a high-spirited, adventurous personality. Whenever Farrell was confined to the house with a cold, Mindy would try to tag along after her 2 other brothers, who would try to get rid of her by challenging her to perform some hazardous feat. Fiercely competitive, Mindy took any dare until a broken arm, several sprains, bruises, and cuts brought down their father's wrath and their gentle mother's firm reprimand. "You must be kind to your little sister. Remember, she's a girl," Percy would admonish, while behind her mother's skirt, Mindy would make faces, stick out her tongue, and waggle her finger at her brothers. By the time she was 10, Mindy could give as good as she took, and Tom and Eph regarded her warily. Small and wiry, she could outrun them if they took off after her. Fearful of the punishment they might incur if their sister really got hurt, they avoided actual confrontations. The summer she was 12, things changed. The family had gathered at the McClarens as usual to celebrate the 4th of July, and, of course, Mindy's birthday. The relatives arrived a few days beforehand from the outlying farms and small towns, and none came empty-handed.